Hi and welcome. Kind of excited because we're launching our YouTube channel and our podcast. And that's a pretty big step for us. And a lot of resistance had to be overcome. Resistance, a topic we're going to cover later. Have you ever wondered why some businesses skyrocket with referrals while others barely get up off the ground with them? Or maybe you're curious about the secret sauce behind building a thriving professional community as you build your brand. I'm Yana Henneman, founder of We&Co. And with years of experience in networking, community building, and referral marketing, I'm here to spill the beans on how you can do the same. So what is We&Co? We&Co was born out of pain. I know everyone thinks, oh, you should start a business out of passion, but it was out of pain that the passion was born. Sidetrack for a second. I am a firm believer that a lot of very successful businesses are born out of pain. After all, I could be completely passionate about rubber band collecting, and while it could turn into a viable business, it might be futile as well. Anywho, here's my story. I moved out to Malaysia in 2006 and was thrown into the wonderful world of networking. Referrals were easy to come by, and at one point I had clients in 9 different countries. Fast forward to 2016 and I found myself back in the United States with a daughter in tow and no real professional network. I didn't hardly know anyone in my town. Long story short, I was starting over from scratch. Luckily, I remembered the old adage, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And this is especially important in business. So I joined a few networking groups. The problem was I wasn't seeing the referrals I was accustomed to overseas. I realized a couple of different things. One, the professional culture here was very different from Southeast Asia. People in the United States have to know, like, and trust you first. And thank you to Josh Lenz for always preaching that to me. 2, I needed a networking strategy, something we'll cover later on down the road. So I got to networking, and I networked for a few years without getting hardly any referrals, despite me spending time and money on building those professional relationships. I started becoming a little desperate because I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. I wasn't successful, and I'll own it. I didn't understand the culture here, and I didn't have a strategy. For a couple of years, I actually lost money networking. Couple that with being a single mother, I slowly became disheartened. I knew the power of referrals. I had experienced it myself firsthand. You are way more likely to close a warm referral over a cold lead. I found myself spending 10 to 15 additional hours a week networking, building those professional relationships, spending money on networking groups, chambers of commerce, and setting those one-to-ones or face-to-face, or as we call them, me-to-wees, with other professionals, trying to understand their business a little bit better, how I can refer to them, and vice versa. But I still wasn't seeing the referrals. Sure, I had friends. I'm still friends with a lot of them to this day. But at the same time, there's this balancing act. I like to call it the fulcrum. Yes, I want to have friends. I want to have those professional relationships. I do want to build those relationships. But at the time, there's a reason why it's called business. Biz-sin-ness. We're all here to make money as well, and making money is fun. The problem is that your time is a finite resource. You can always go out, spend money, and go back and make more money. But how you spend your time, you will never get that back. Once it's spent, it's gone forever. Fast forward to July 2020, and this pain that I had experienced for a few years finally transmuted into my now passion, which is maximizing professionals' time while making them more money. Hence, the birth of We&Co. We're here to transform your business interactions into meaningful relationships that foster growth, loyalty, and a sense of belonging while saving you time and making you more money. Our mission, we aim to empower professionals to harness the power of referral marketing. We believe in creating a world where businesses grow not just through transactions, but through meaningful relationships and community support. What will you learn with us? The art of building a brand that people can't stop talking about, strategies to transform customers into brand advocates, tips to harness the power of referral marketing, how to network effectively and efficiently, and how to be fun to refer to. Again, we maximize professionals' time while making them more money. Have you ever joined a professional networking group that met up once a week? The meeting itself is about an hour and a half, but with drive time and networking before and after, it turns into about 2.5 hours every week. And the meeting structure is kind of the same, kind of stand up, you do your 30 seconds, someone gets a spotlight around once a year for like 8 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that. The point is that's an easy 2.5 hours out of your week networking, not including upholding those KPIs. The KPIs are traditionally, you're not allowed to miss so many meetings in a certain amount of time. You have to pass 4 referrals a month. You have to invite a visitor once a month, and then you have to set up a face-to-face or one-to-one meeting, or what we would call a meet-a-wee, once a week. While there's nothing wrong with this, I still wasn't seeing the results, despite always hitting my KPIs and surpassing them. As I got to know more and more professionals, I realized that while some of them were seeing success with this model, there were others like me that weren't. Eventually, I joined leadership positions thinking, oh, this will garner more clout in the community, right? It ended up being a huge time suck. It literally was like a part-time job. I was spending an additional 10 to 15 hours a week just helping grow my networking group. Then COVID happened and a lot of the networking groups fizzled out. The whole professional networking scene changed. During the quarantine, stuck at home with a 7th grader who was now doing virtual schooling, I had a little bit more time than I was accustomed to, and I kind of wrote out all the pros and cons of traditional networking. What is it that I would have liked to have seen when I first landed back here that really would have helped my business and helped put me in a position where I can help other businesses? So I wrote down these pros and cons, and voila, We&Co was born. Not only did we come up with a structure and a system that helped maximize professionals' time while helping them make more money, we put an emphasis on building professional relationships and automating the networking process. More on this in the future. Without giving away too much, we have a ton more content that is primed and ready to be published that goes in depth into networking, business do's and don'ts, and even principles you can apply not only in your business, but in your personal life as well. Your challenge. We challenge you to do what I did. How much is your time worth? How much of your business is built on referral marketing? How much time do you spend networking? What can you do differently so you can spend more time making money? We call these income generating activities. A lot of times people go out networking and they're just hitting up every single group, every single event that they can. And it's kind of like a machine gun approach to networking, which, hey, in some areas, in some professions that works, but it doesn't work in all. Yes, the law of propinquity is important. The law of propinquity states, hey, the more I see you, the more likely I'm going to refer to you. Right, but being all places, all times, that's not good for your business either. Again, there's that fulcrum, that balancing point that we have to find. To find out more, follow us on our social channels. Hit that subscribe button and follow the We&Co movement. Again, we aim to be the networking group that makes its members the most money while saving them time. Also, if you're a leader in your community and would like to be the go-to business resource for professionals in your area, perhaps apply to become a We&Co ambassador. You get all the clout, all the notoriety, without having to take on a part-time job. I'm Jana Henneman, and thank you for taking a few moments out of your day to join me.